Today I'm going to be sharing why the politics in LA have driven me to wanting to move far away from here. Now, I'm not a political person. I basically never in my life even voted. I've never once just seeked out political anything. I do not care. I live my own life in the real world and gather my own opinions, and I don't take to either side. I'm not someone who's going to sit around and watch the news all day. I could care less. There's nothing I can do about it personally. I don't have the voice to change things. So why would I sit there and follow a bunch of negativity all day? All right, so I moved to LA because it was the warmest big city in America. And I saw all my favorite celebrities lived here. We have the oceans, the best weather in the world, the mountains, and all the dining, the shopping. It was like some sort of paradise. And it was fall fun and games in the beginning until COVID struck. Oh, that's when things went south. And I just could not take it. Actually, my friend living with me, he ended his life because of all the silly laws during COVID. I kid you not. And it was a crime to go to work. We had curfews. We couldn't do our thing. Oh, God forbid you go to a park, you get some sunlight in. The pools were closed. We couldn't go to the gym for a whole year. That was what kept me sane. That was my therapy. That was my release. That was all I had in life. And honestly, I feel like I've never been the same since they screwed me up with their silly COVID laws. Never been the same. A year of not being able to go to the gym, what? Who comes up with this crap? Let me get it. We're all gonna get it eventually. Let's get it out of our systems now. Okay, so that drove me AWOL. And I ended up moving because my place didn't get much natural light, and it was a crime to go outdoors and get natural light. So anyway, okay, that was a really rough time in my life. And then just seeing everything locked up at your local drugstore, and the way it's constantly out there, all these small little mom and pop business owners are trying to protect themselves and their business. And it's a crime. The city takes the side of the criminal. How are they in the right? And the squatter, how is this a place where squatting is encouraged? You're encouraged to take over someone's property. What? And to steal their things. So anyway, all that was really frustrating. And I just couldn't believe it. Okay. Then when I got into real estate, things really pissed me off because I see how long it can take to evict someone, right? You have someone in your property not paying their rent, and there's all these little loopholes that they can fight through to mess with you and try to get you to settle. And it really pissed me off. These little mom and pop landlords that are holding on by a thread and their insurance goes up, say 40% in 1 year. And Karen Bass, a few weeks ago, she passed this law where on years with low inflation, landlords can only raise their rent in certain parts of LA by 1%. And that's okay. And then she had it highlighted at the top of her Instagram. So proud of what she's done to these tiny business owners that have sacrificed their life and given everything for their small little multifamily building where they're put in a place where they could be sued tomorrow and lose everything. You have the legal responsibility. You have people texting you and calling you in the middle of the night, right? Over the smallest of things, over toilets and light bulbs. And they're willing to take that responsibility and all the unexpected costs, and you're told tomorrow that you have 30 grand in electrical repairs and you have to come up with that, right? But after the fires, yeah, a lot of people's insurance rose 50%. And now Karen Bass has made it where you can only raise their rent by 1%. It's so unfair. You're putting these tiny little hole-in-the-wall mom and pops who have sacrificed everything to get to where they are. And you're putting them in a place where they can no longer make money. And profits are just wiped off the board. And guess what? When you live in a city and you're not encouraging business and you're scaring away all the little mom and pops and no new business, nobody wants to do business here. You know what? We don't have a carbone. You want to know why I think we don't have a carbone here? Because we're in an anti-business state and city, right? So why would Carbone come here when they can open up multiple locations in Vegas, which they have done? It's common sense. When you scare away people that are educated and high value and want to start businesses and do good for our economy and provide jobs, when they're scared away and you're told that there's going to be a mansion tax of 5.5% if you want to sell your home and buy another home and renovate it and do something great with it, and you're punished for that, then yeah, you'd be a fool to buy something where you have to pay an extra tax where you're punished for being successful. Why on earth would anyone be dumb enough to do that, right? And I feel like I personally have grown very miserable living in my apartment in Beverly Hills, which is heavily rent controlled, and you feel all this guilt. It's like, oh, if I move out of here, you just be an idiot. Like, why would you give this up? You have something great. And it makes you very unhappy because it no longer meets your needs. And to me, moving, it's so healthy to get like a change of scenery, a fresh environment, to be able to reinvent yourself. And when you feel like you can't do that, it just really puts you in a negative place. So it's really frustrating trying to do business here, and then just dealing with like the RVs and the tents on the street and having to deal with that. And you watch your tenants who just can't stand it, and it's understandable. Every year they keep moving out, highest vacancy in the world. There's graffiti everywhere. The city like doesn't punish people. And they literally have an RV like parked at one of their meters, and it's just there, sitting there for months. Oh, and if they like move it a tiny bit or claim they moved it, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. They're allowed to stay at our meter and not pay for it. Nope, that's cool. So it's just frustrating. And these people in tents outside your property that you have all this money invested in, and they can urinate and defecate on your property and shoot up and do their drugs. And it's like, yeah, sure, nothing wrong with that. It starts to piss you off. When you're trying to do something really good for this city and you invest your hard-earned money and assume the legal liability and give it your all, right? And it becomes your whole life where you've sacrificed relationships. You didn't have kids. Like, there's people that have made this their whole world, and the city doesn't encourage that. It's suddenly a crime to start a business in this city. It's like when there's so much red tape and bureaucracy, why would anyone want to do that? And why would anyone buy a property that's rent controlled on certain years? You're told you can raise the rents 1%. It's really bad. Really, really bad. So, I mean, I live to see the day that LA will turn around. Population here has basically been going down the last 5 years for the most part. And it's really sad to see such a great place head so downhill. And if you don't work in these industries, like, you probably think I'm crazy, but like, I've seen this firsthand. And this is just kind of like what spiraled for me. The Cheval Blanc Hotel in Beverly Hills, it was gonna add like right over 100 rooms, and that was like a crime. The city shot it down. God forbid you had 100 high-paying rooms and bring in high net worth people into this city that are gonna shop on Rodeo Drive. And at least we have the Mon Hotel coming. I'm excited about that in Beverly Hills. But yeah, I hate living in a city that doesn't encourage growth. It's just like, you feel like the city doesn't want you to be successful. And yeah, there's no high rises, like no new high rises anywhere near Beverly Hills. And everything just gets shot down. It's like, it's a crime to be a developer, but it's like, whatever you're doing, God forbid you try to improve this city. That's horrible. Like the worst. And yeah, it just kind of, it's not fun to live in a socialist city. Socialism doesn't work. Okay, that's just my opinion. But over time, rents are gonna be higher for these kids getting fresh out of college. Rents are gonna be through the roof. And then people that actually can't afford to pay high rents, who have the means to do so and have been living there 20 years, well, they're the ones getting the cheap rents. And it's just making everything more expensive for the next generation. And LA is just a city that's not going to be attainable for these people fresh out of school to even move to. So it's just kind of sad to see our city go downhill and to see just like so few businesses coming this way. And I work in an industry where I'm always talking to business owners, and they're like, yeah, we hate it here. It's impossible to do business. And they're gonna do business elsewhere. Look at the In-N-Out founder. She's out of here. She bounced. She's like, nope. Sure, give the city to the criminals, to the druggies. Let them shoot up all day and night and scare away us hardworking business owners. So, okay, we see what side you're on. And everything's just so messed up. I feel like politicians don't even believe half of the crap that they vote into place. Obviously, it makes sense for the mass majority of people here to vote in these things because it sounds nice on paper. It's like, yeah, low income this, low income that. And then when push comes to shove, you're scaring away everyone. This new billionaire tax, you'd be a fool to stay in California if that goes into place. Forget about it. Nope. I'd be so far out of here. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I'm this close to wanting to move to an income tax free state because I'm just very unhappy here with the city and the way it's ran and how corrupt it is. And that's why I really like Spencer Pratt and everything he's standing up for to expose these people. How they let our city burn to the ground with no repercussions. They just like getting away with it. And it just pissed me off. Defunding our fire department when we needed them the most. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts on LA. Our downtown is not inspiring. It feels like a third world country. It does not make me happy going down there. It's not something I'm proud of. It's nothing like New York City or even other big cities downtowns. It's just not my happy place. So yeah, I don't like it here. Anyway, sorry to be negative. Okay, those are my rambling thoughts for today. Bye!